In a quiet village called Sundarpur lived a hard-working farmer named Yasin. His fields stretched across the edge of the village, where the morning sunlight touched the crops before reaching the houses. Yasin was not a wealthy man, but he was honest, patient, and deeply committed to his family. Every morning before sunrise, he walked into his fields and worked beneath the heat of the sun. Every evening, he returned home exhausted, carrying whatever little harvest his land had given him. To Yasin, every grain of wheat was precious. Each grain represented hours of work, sweat, patience, and hope. Nothing came easily to him, but he had learned to respect everything he earned. Then one season, a small problem entered his home. A clever little mouse had found its way inside. At first, Yasin paid almost no attention to it. He saw the tiny creature disappear behind a wooden box and simply smiled. It's only a mouse. How much trouble could such a tiny creature cause? But Yasin soon discovered the answer. The mouse began biting holes into his grain sacks. It spoiled food in the kitchen. It chewed pieces of clothing and scattered grains across the floor. Yasin's wife became increasingly upset, and Yasin himself grew tired of cleaning up the damage every day. Several times he tried to catch the mouse, but the creature was quick. Whenever Yasin moved towards it, the mouse disappeared into a narrow hole beneath the wall. One evening, Yasin sat outside his home and stared at the fields. "This little creature is wasting the food I work so hard to earn," he thought. "If I cannot stop it, my family will continue paying the price." Then, an idea came to him. The next morning, Yasin walked to the village market and bought a large glass jar. It was smooth, strong, and completely transparent. He filled it almost to the top with fresh grain and placed it behind his house. Then, he left it uncovered. Yasin returned to his field and waited. He knew exactly what he was hoping would happen. If the mouse sees all that grain, he thought, perhaps it will stop searching through my house. It will have everything it needs in one place. Later that day, the mouse came out of its hiding place. It searched around the house as usual. Then it stopped. Behind the house stood the glass jar. Inside was more grain than it had ever seen. The mouse's eyes widened. "So much food," it thought. "I will never have to search again. I will never have to run through dangerous places. Everything I need is right here." Without hesitation, the mouse climbed into the jar and began eating. And for the first time in its life, the mouse discovered something it had never known before: complete comfort. From that day onward, the mouse's routine changed completely. Whenever it became hungry, it climbed into the jar, ate as much grain as it wanted, and returned to its hiding place. There was no more searching, no more running, no more fear, no more effort. The mouse began to believe that it had finally discovered the perfect life. Why struggle, it thought. Why waste energy searching for food when everything is already here? Days passed. The mouse stopped exploring. It stopped running around the house. It stopped using the speed and cleverness that had once kept it alive. And slowly, something changed. The mouse became heavier, then slower, then weaker. At first, it did not notice. It was too comfortable to care. Every day it ate more and moved less. The grain was still there, so why worry about tomorrow? There is enough for today, the mouse told itself. Tomorrow will take care of itself. But tomorrow was already approaching. The grain inside the jar was slowly disappearing, and the mouse never noticed. Weeks went by. The once fast mouse had become fat and lazy. The creature that could once escape danger in seconds now struggled even to move quickly. Its legs had become weaker, its body had become heavier. Its sharp survival instincts had faded. Yet the mouse continued enjoying its comfortable life. It never asked an important question. What happens when the grain is gone? Then, one afternoon, the mouse climbed into the jar as usual. After finishing its meal, it decided to leave. It jumped toward the rim. It missed. The mouse tried again. It failed. It jumped a third time with all the strength it could gather. Still, it could not reach the top. The smooth glass walls gave its tiny claws nothing to hold on to. For the first time, the mouse understood. The jar was no longer a source of comfort. It was a prison. The mouse jumped again, and again, and again. But its body was now too heavy. Its legs were too weak. Its old speed and strength were gone. The mouse looked at the remaining grain. There was very little left. And suddenly, it understood the terrible truth. Every easy meal had taken away a little of its strength. Every day of comfort had taken away a little of its freedom. Every moment of laziness made escape more difficult. The mouse continued jumping until it was exhausted, but the jar remained unchanged. The comfort that once felt like a blessing had slowly become a trap. The mouse had never been forced into that prison. It had entered willingly. It had simply chosen comfort over effort, ease over discipline, and pleasure today over freedom tomorrow. A few days later, the last grain disappeared. The mouse had nothing left to eat, and it had no strength left to escape. The little creature that once moved with incredible speed now lay helpless at the bottom of the jar. Eventually, its life came to an end inside the same place it once believed was paradise. When Yasin discovered what had happened, he stood silently beside the jar. He looked at the empty container for a long moment, and then he understood something far deeper than he had expected. The mouse had not simply died because it was trapped. It had slowly lost the ability to survive outside the trap. Yasin realized that comfort is not always a blessing. Sometimes comfort without effort weakens us. Sometimes an easy life slowly takes away the very abilities that protect our freedom. The first lesson is this: short-term pleasure can become a long-term prison. Something may feel wonderful today, but if it prevents you from growing, learning, or preparing for tomorrow, it may eventually cost you much more than you expected. The second lesson is that comfort without effort creates dependence. When everything comes easily, we stop developing the ability to solve problems ourselves. And when difficulty finally arrives, we may discover that we are no longer strong enough to face it. The third lesson about skills. Your skills are part of your freedom. The more you learn, practice, and improve yourself, the more capable you become. But when you stop learning and stop challenging yourself, your abilities slowly become weaker. And the fourth lesson is perhaps the most important. Struggle has a purpose. Challenges may be uncomfortable. Failure may hurt. Hard work may exhaust you. But these experiences build strength, patience, discipline, courage, and independence. A life without struggle may feel peaceful for a while, but a life without growth can become dangerous. So never allow comfort to make you weak. Never let easy pleasure steal the future you are capable of building. Keep learning, keep working, keep improving. And when life becomes difficult, do not immediately wish for an easier road. Sometimes the difficult road is the one preparing you for a stronger future.